Okay, everybody, and welcome back to a new episode of Peeker's Advantage, episode 22. I think I got that right. We talked about it beforehand, but I'm kind of an idiot and I forgot. So we're back. We're back. We took a bit of a hiatus, but now we're back. And now this is exciting stuff. We actually have a sponsor for this episode. So everybody, please go check out DraftBuff. Okay, so we're all stuck inside right now. We got this coronavirus outbreak. What are you doing with your time? Watching your favorite e-girl, jacking off like a rabid monkey? I've seen those rabid monkeys over in Thailand. They're going fucking nuts right now because of all this shit where there's no tourists there, so they're not feeding them. Have you guys seen those videos?
Yeah, they were like fighting each other in the streets.
Thousands of monkeys in the streets of Thailand just attacking each other and people. You're missing out. We'll have to find that for you. So anyway, so stop it. Get some help. We have the solution for you. Forget about those trash tier fantasy leagues and download DraftBuff now. It's available on iOS and Android. It's only a mobile app. There's no web version yet or anything like that. So it's just a mobile app, but make sure you download it. Stop booing me, okay? You guys have phones, right? Everybody has phones. Of course you do. It's 2020. Stop being lazy. Download it now. Join, use the code Peeker's Advantage for free bananas. What are bananas, you ask? Alex, you know what bananas are?
I kind of figured out with the app, but yeah, you should explain it.
Okay, so
Device's favorite food.
Are. Yeah. Why would you know what bananas are? You wouldn't, because this is a new app. So check it out. The bananas they're going to be used as a form of currency where you can buy special avatars.
20 bananas.
See, yeah,
you can't even have 20 bananas.
Perfect. There you go. So you get free bananas. We have two leagues going right now. We have Pro Leagues Group A and B and Pro Leagues Group C and D. You'll see it on there when you go on the app. We'll put a link in the description for you to download it. You go to our league. It's going to be great, okay? If you're watching this on your PC, you're going to have to open it up on your phone and go to the link or type in the league name. You'll figure it out. It's pretty great. Make sure you check it out. It's much like the standard fantasy system where you have a certain amount of currency and you buy players with that currency. Each player's worth a certain amount. They had Ziwu was worth really low, so I had to message the guy. I was like, hey man, Ziwu, you got to up his price a little bit. Everybody's going to have Ziwu. It's going to be a little unbalanced, all right? So anyways, make sure you guys go check it out. Thanks DraftBuff for sponsoring this episode. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So let's roll back into it, guys. How's everybody doing?
Not bad.
Cool.
Pretty good, just staying healthy,
Yeah, staying inside. So really quick, I'll address the elephant in the room for everybody watching, where obviously coronavirus is a thing. It's going on a lot right now, okay, but we're not going to talk about it. We're not going to do any long segments on it because anytime anyone tries to consume media these days, it's all anybody can see. So we're going to just pretend like that doesn't exist temporarily for right now for the duration of this show. And yeah, so we're just not going to address it.
It keeps me up in fear every single evening.
Shut up.
I'm up till 3
Shut
a.m.
up. Shut up.
Literally just counting.
Shut up. God, I fucking hate this guy. All right. Anyways, so currently we have going. So one thing I want to talk about real quick is I just want to really what's the word? Fluff myself up a bit, I guess, because Navi, since we've recorded our last episode, Navi has removed Guardian and picked up Perfecto. Now, Perfecto, I'm not going to pretend I had any clue who this guy was before this move. I had no fucking clue who Perfecto was. But I had said from the very beginning that I thought picking up Guardian was a bad move. And turns out it was. Right. Yeah, it turns out it was. And all they needed was an average rifler. And you're going to win tournaments because you have s1mple on your team. So
they just got this guy and they're like, play every spot we don't want to play.
Yeah. Just exist.
Yeah,
they're like, don't die unnecessarily ever, and just you don't need to get any kills. Just don't collapse.
Didn't he have 2 kills in one half that they won or something like that? Something
there was on train game, I think, where he just literally didn't die or get a kill.
It was Mirage, yeah.
It was it was
no, Mirage is the game that he
didn't die in an entire half or something.
He was 15-0. He got kills in that game though, didn't he?
I think so. I don't think they ever hit B or something like that. He's their B anchor.
Yeah. He plays every single shit role. He's just I'm just sitting all the shit spots and all I have to do is not be terrible.
No, it was Nuke. It was Nuke. He went 4-6 against G2 and they won.
Oh yeah.
And Boomich had 32 kills.
Boomich has been owning.
Yeah, no, Boomich is so fun to watch. He's one of
you got to think about it. They got s1mple and they got a fat guy.
Yeah.
This is Dangerous
recipe.
times.
And like
Yeah.
a really fat guy too, like not
Don't-
just a fat guy. you
But
know
they
what I
didn't
mean?
have
Like,
two fat guys, because Guardian would have been the other.
That's true,
But then they
that's
got
true.
rid of him, and Perfecto, pretty average build, you know. And,
Yeah.
so
Makes a big difference.
It balances everything out.
If he fixed his hair up a bit, he'd be worth more for them. I think. Like just
Perfecto.
yeah, like if he just got a
Yeah,
real
you-
sick haircut. Just
You need the nice haircut guy, yeah.
I feel like if your name is gonna be Perfecto, you've got to like really work at it, right? Like you've got to try to make yourself like an 8 out of 10.
You got it. Yeah, he's got to work on his, like, he doesn't need to work on any in-server skills right now. He just needs to, like, you know, get a little bit more tone, fix up the hair, maybe use a couple skin products and things like that. Just make his appearance look really good. so
honestly,
when he's
just
on
learn
stage,
how to
he has a
become
presence.
really good at massaging, to give simple massages after games. Just
I think he sits on the end next to Flamey, so he just needs to like massage Flamey's shoulder right now, because I
Yeah.
think it's simple and electronic. It's like electronic,
No,
simple.
because
No,
Flamey
Symbol's in the
sits
middle.
on the end. Yeah,
Yeah, Symbol's in the middle right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
And
Boomich is to his right. or
Flamey
something.
sits on the far end. Boomich is
Yeah.
next to Flamey in between Simple and right. In between Simple.
Electronics next to simple. I think Perfecto's
Yeah,
on the far,
and then
other
Perfecto's
far
on the
end.
far end. Yeah.
So he's got to touch electronic. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Electronic's like a very intense guy. Have any of you guys ever met Electronic?
No.
no.
He's an intense guy, man. I was outside of outside of the for Pro League in Unse. I was standing outside, just like I don't know, just hanging out, I guess. And me and Simple were standing there, and we were talking, and Electronic comes up, and he's just got this like fucking look in his eye, like he's just kind of got like a. He just looks real fucking intense, like when he's looking at you. And it's like I don't know, like, but he was
looks
super
through
nice.
you.
Yeah, no, he was super nice guy though. Like I'm not talking shit. I'm just saying he's just intense. I was like, fuck, dude. I guess you have to be intense because he's like what 22, 23, and he's
I
like
think he's-
married and has kids. Like you got to be an
He's
intense guy.
really young. Yeah.
Yeah, like you've got to be a pretty intense guy to pull that off.
He's 21 with a kid.
Oh my god, he's only 21.
Yeah. He doesn't even turn
Fuck.
22 till September.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. Fuck. That's fucked.
Yeah, he's.
I feel like those
he just-
Russians always
he
have
just went
kids.
in.
Like, do they not believe in condoms over there? Like, I don't really understand.
I think they just want to have kids, Corey.
Could be. Yeah, I don't know.
He's just like, yeah.
But everyone I know over here is like, nah, fuck kids.
Dude, because you're
Right.
well, you're 30 at this point, aren't you? How old are you now?
Yeah, I'm 30.
Right.
But, like,
What,
even-
are you
like-
thinking about having little children running around? little
No,
Corys?
I like being to have money. Like, I like
Yeah.
money. And if you have children, you have no more money anymore. You just.
Okay. Okay.
I'm too selfish of a person, you know what I mean? Like I just want to do my own shit. Like I don't want to worry about a little human that's gonna die if I leave, you know?
Dude, no, that's what your girlfriend's for.
I don't think she
Just
wants
leave.
kids either,
You
thankfully.
can just
so.
leave and she can raise the kid. It's fine.
I think that might be the case with Electronic. He just sends funds back. Your dollar goes a little farther in Russia. Russia's still
A
pretty
little
good.
farther, dude. They're
not-
set
not
forever.
bad.
They're set forever, dude.
Okay, simple is set forever. In Ukraine, you can buy like
Oh,
3
yeah.
meals for like
I guess
everybody
it
with
depends where you
drinks
live
and
in Russia,
everything,
'cause
and it's
if
like
Moscow's expensive.
$15. Yeah, Moscow. When I was there for Epicenter, it was like I don't know. I'd buy a cocktail and it'd be like $6, which is
That's
obviously
pretty
better than America.
standard, Yeah.
But like it's not like crazy. Like it's still I still
Yeah.
feel like I'm paying for a drink, you know.
Bet you could have gone to a corner store and bought a bottle of vodka for $6.
That's
I bet you could have.
yeah, that's how I got through the last day when I was
Yeah.
playing the game.
Yeah.
I was just mixing it with the Red Bulls they were giving us, yeah, in the back.
True. Oh my god. Yeah, that would I've never, like we've been to, obviously me and Corey have been to Serbia a few times, and it really depends where you go. Like there's certain places that are like clearly like tourist traps where the prices are hiked up, like only tourists go there, only like that's not like a local spot. But then we were hanging out with we had like a translator guy who was with us, and every now and then he would take us to like a local spot. And there was one place right across from right nearby the hotel, Corey. I don't remember what it was, but it was that burger place that you guys kept-
Ponchos.
Ponchos, that's it. And you could get like a full burger, fries, meal, and everything for like $3 or $4 or something.
Yeah.
Super
It
cheap.
was really cheap. Like I ate there every day. Just like
Yeah.
The people in Russia though were really nice too, though, surprisingly. Like one night that I was at the event, we had like a day off the next day, so I went and walked out to this like lounge club thing by myself, and like the guy when I was coming into the place first though, like the security guard patted me down, and he was nicely like, he's like said something in Russian to me. I was like, okay, I can't understand you. And then he looked at me and he's like, do you have gun? And I'm like, no gun. And he's like, okay. And then he's like, do you have? And then he started doing a stabbing motion at me, and I was like, no knife. And he's like, okay, go, you good, whatever.
Oh yes, I
That's
do.
security in Russia. Like, yeah. Do you have a gun or a knife? No. All right.
Yeah, you good? Oh yeah, you good, man. You
Yeah,
good.
you're
Russians are so
Get
serious.
some
Like,
drinks.
yes, I have gun.
oh, you have a gun. Okay,
Yeah.
you're good. You're good.
It's like, oh no, my plan has been foiled. I was really hoping they weren't going to ask me.
Yeah.
Nah, fuck. All right, you can have it, man. Calm down.
Okay, here's my gun.
Yeah.
And they're pissed
Sorry
at
for
Joey.
bringing this to club.
And then they're pissed and they go climb like one of those giant towers just in the air, just like above the city.
Oh
Yeah.
my
Because
god.
I
that
only see
stresses
Russians
me
do
out.
this shit. Apparently, like they're just
Like
Russians
city
and
climbers.
British people. I see lots of British YouTubers that do it too.
yeah. I guess British people are pretty stupid as well. They just
Well, just look at their
That's the
CS
limits.
history.
That stresses me out so much. Like my hands sweat so much watching them do it that I would like if their hands were as sweaty as mine were watching them do it, they'd slip. Like that's how sweaty my hands are when I watch that shit. That stresses me out so
you want
much.
a really good thing? Watch the Alex Honnold documentary.
Oh,
yeah,
It's on the Disney Plus, I believe, as well now. It's just him climbing like a mountain with no rope that like no one else can do, and it's just insane.
On Halftone,
It- when they he's done more harder
Or-
ones now,
yeah.
and they'll
Oh,
do
really?
ones where they pan out, and he's just like a
El
little
Capitan, yeah.
he's like a little ant on the side of a hill, and like you just standing there, and you're just
Yeah.
like, what the fuck are you doing, dude?
like why? Like just why? Like no, dude. I watched his Joe Rogan episode too, where he talks about it, and he's like he said like by the time he free climbs a mountain, he's climbed that mountain with ropes 1,000 times already. Like he knows exactly where he's going to put his hand, where he's going to put his foot. Like by the time he actually free climbs it, he said it's like second nature. Like he doesn't even think about it. He knows exactly where he's going.
It's like a good example is if you surf in Counter-Strike, you know, the first time you play a map, you're never going to one-shot it. You know what I mean? Like you don't know where you got to go, but once you played 100 times, you're like, you just kind of preemptively are doing like the things.
Have you guys done bouldering and stuff? I tried it recently.
Oh, you mean like at a gym?
Yeah.
Or
at a gym.
I've done little gym things randomly for fun, like, but not serious.
Like once you learn like the techniques, like heel hook and like how to use like a slope hand hold and stuff like that, like that's kind of what he's doing. It's just like, yeah, it's like surfing on a map, or like choosing the right movement choice. Like, do you want to do a jiggle peak, or do you want to do like a wide swing or whatever on this thing? It's like, yeah,
you got to think about it though, like his endurance though, because he's going on these things for like 6-9 hours straight, like to finish.
There's like some break points. He's like,
oh yeah, he can definitely chill and like eat a little bit of food, but it's still like it's just a whole day of doing like
it is really intense. Yeah, for sure.
Have you seen that man's hands? Like
they're huge. They're huge.
Massive. Like I've got pretty big hands. Corey's got the biggest hands I've ever seen, and this guy could just like bend his hands over Corey's hand.
It's because his fingers are like thick too. Like they're muscly. Like there's no gym exercise for that. You just got to go climb mountains.
No,
also just genetics. Yeah, like because he can like 2-finger hold things that are just like I can't even get enough grip strength out of like 5 fingers for it. Yeah,
dude. Yeah, no, that guy's grip strength is out of this world.
But honestly, if you get triggered by like girlfriends being like overprotective, the documentary will piss you off because this chick finds him after knowing that he climbs mountains like without ropes, and then she's like, I don't want you to die. It's like, what did you think going into this? That was
the best line.
Stop.
That was like the best line in the documentary. He's like, what?
I haven't watched it, but
like some other free soloist climber dies or whatever, and he's like, well, what did she expect? Like he talks about the guy's ex-widowed wife. He's like, what do you expect was gonna happen? This is what you're getting into. Like, it's like, oh my god,
that's fucked.
Yeah,
he's got a weird personality, but it's really interesting
I love it.
too.
He's super deadpan. He almost reminds me of Nathan Fielder a lot, like Nathan For You, that show. If you've seen that, but
I've never seen it.
It's pretty good. That's all I'll say about it.
Right now, as we're recording this, Envy just lost to
Expected.
They made it closer.
They made it closer
than
it should have been. Yeah, with a stand-in too, or their coach. Their coach, that is.
Yeah. We were talking about this a little bit earlier while we were sitting here waiting waiting to get this recording going, and we were talking about it earlier, and there's a couple talking points in this whole thing. So obviously, Envy's playing with Legia because Moose is waiting for a visa. I think Moose is pretty good, and I just want to like quickly just talk about the whole like Nifty FugLy situation. And I think everybody who's watched the show for any extended period of time knows Corey's thoughts on Nifty and Envy and all of that stuff going on there. So there's not going to be any sympathy coming from him. But and I just want to say, like, yeah, obviously, like anybody who's been around the scene for a while knows what Nifty's about. It's like it's his show. It's always been his show, and he's living his own movie, right? But I still think it was like super bitch made of FugLy to put that shit on Twitter and like complain about it. It's like, dude, you got cut from a team. Like, is this the first time? Is this the first time FugLy's got cut from a team like that or something? Because this happens all the time to everybody. Like, this isn't like some new thing that goes on as far as like Counter-Strike players are concerned.
Yeah, and
But
it's
it
like
might have been the fact that he felt like he was kept in the dark too long, though. Like maybe on his like, because he never really complained about his other teams that got cut from. So like,
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I think everyone respects getting cut if they're like told more like straight up, like being like, look, we're trying to replace you. It's not working out, and they tell them kind of like as soon as they decide, rather
But I feel
than
like that
being like,
rarely ever happens.
it doesn't happen that often, unfortunately.
Like that,
But a
like
lot of
almost never happens.
yeah, it honestly doesn't happen that much just because there's so many games you have to play. So it's
Yeah.
like if you cut someone, you run the risk of them. They don't want to play with you anymore. If they do play, are they still going to try as hard? You know, like are they going to be emo? Even if they are trying, it still might affect them. So I can understand why people don't tell people initially, but it's one of those double-edged swords. I don't think there's like a perfect way to do it. Obviously, the perfect way to do it is telling them, and then the person playing until like 100% until they're released, because you're still getting paid. Like when you get cut, you don't instantly just lose all your money. You know, like usually you're kept around for a couple weeks, like just until they get a replacement, because you might have to play games, right?
Yeah. I don't know, man. I just didn't like it. I think it's. I just don't think. For me personally, I was never a fan of like ever posting stuff like that on social media. Like I don't think anything that goes on within a team should ever be posted on social media like that. At least that's how I see it.
It kind of makes it seem like for other people that like, you know, maybe FugLy might be a little hard to work with, because that is it is pretty standard in the industry to just kind of get released like this. So if you're complaining about it, then it's like, do we really want to deal with FugLy's personality now? Like, I almost feel like the smaller personality you have as a player is sometimes good, because then people just don't have shit to say about you, and then they're just like, they just look at how you play, and if your play speaks for itself, that's good enough.
I always just wonder like what goes on behind the scenes, because like you said, this is fairly standard. Like if you play poorly, or if things don't go, or even if somebody just decides they don't want you on their team anymore, you can just get released. Yeah, you can just get cut. Like it's just like it's a job, like it's a business. It's just sometimes you just get cut. It's not a personal thing.
Yeah.
At least it shouldn't be. Most of the time it's not anyway. Sometimes people get cut for personal reasons, but that tends to be a little obvious when that happens.
That is the drama that we love, though.
Yeah, that's what we like. That's what we like.
I want to see all the tweets about that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I think, but on a side note now, going back, I do think this Envy team has got significantly better with the changes that they made. Calyx and me, who I think are both really good, and Moose is also like a really good player. I was surprised when that United team let him go.
Kind of surprised they went international at all. That seems a little weird for Envy.
I'm honestly interested to see what will happen with the roster, because at this point, it really depends on how close Nifty is with the owner, because he can get cut now. Like he's lost the majority, right? Like he's got 3 people like Legia, Michu, and Calyx that are all European that can decide to make a change themselves. You know what I mean? Like they don't necessarily like. All they have to really do is get Moose or Ryan on board, and then it's over for Nifty if they have an issue. And I'm not saying he is an issue or anything right now. Like I don't know how I haven't watched enough of them it's a brand new lineup and they haven't really played much.
This is their first victory today, I think.
Yeah, they played some online qualifiers, I think, and they look kind of shaky, but doing podcast. And then I don't know, like if you if you're an in-game leader and an opper and you're not doing a good enough job in either or, then it's like, do you cut someone and get another opper and keep Nifty calling, or do you cut Nifty and get a caller and then one other people out? You know, like he's kind of doubling up on the roles, right?
Yeah. Also, one thing I want to give credit to, me and Alex were talking about this earlier, is how quickly Som got so much better. I don't know how much credit we want to give to Som specifically, how much credit we give to the previous Envy staff, because obviously I know them really well. Zach and Taylor, everybody, well, me and Corey both know them very well. Som, when Som joined Envy, and I said this at the time, and I still think it was true, when he joined Envy, he was not a good pro player. He looked way out of his depth. He was out of position constantly. He looked like he had no clue what was going on. And in a span of like 6 months, 7, 8 months now, he has gotten so much better to the point where he's on Gen G and looks like a seasoned pro. Like he has gotten so much better so quickly. Alex, I know you might have some insight as to sort of what goes on there.
Yeah, he looks really comfortable in his environment now. And with Gen G, I talked to, being at DreamHack Anaheim, I talked to Ben Tet, I talked to their coach a good amount because I was doing an article with Dexerto. And I think Ben Tet was being modest. I was kind of like, so you play a lot of sites with Som, you guys pug a lot together. How much does Som contribute? How much do you contribute? And Ben Tet was like, oh, it's kind of 50-50 here or there. But then I talked to Elmaputty and I asked the same question. He's like, oh no, Ben Tet calls the shit a lot. Like he'll call setups and like he'll put him in positions and things like that. And they've gone over all their shit a lot too. And he's really comfortable with Ben Tet. You can tell that they like each other too. Like they hang out. They hang out. They talk to each other and stuff like that outside the game. So
Som is a likable guy. We got to give him that no matter what. He's a likable kid.
Yeah, he's got a loud personality, but and it's not too abrasive or anything. Like, yeah, he yells at LAN, and I think that's like one of the only things people get mad at him for.
Dude, people gotta shut the fuck up about that yelling on LAN thing, dude. Who cares?
Like, no, it's good. It's a good
no,
thing.
I'm not saying you are saying that, but so many people like cry like, Stewie, not talking now. Yeah, when you're winning and you yell, it makes you win more. When you're losing, you can't yell. What are you gonna yell? You look like a fucking idiot. Yeah,
I fucking suck. I suck.
Like,
what are you saying?
What are you supposed to do if you're losing, dude? If you're losing by a lot too, like it's one thing if you're trading rounds, you know, you can kind of throw like some yells, but like if you're just losing, like even when you win a round at 8-0 and it's 8-1, you don't really feel like yelling yet, you know what I mean? Like you don't. So like
if you lose that one round after like you win at 8, it's
right back at you. It's right back.
Just go
you're fucked.
Why would you start shit talking then? You have to build a couple rounds.
You gotta get like at least 4, you know, like get like in a row, like you guys choking, like you know, like I don't know, like it also depends because a lot of times you can't even hear what the people are yelling. Like Stewie might be yelling, but like if they can hear it, if there's white noise pumping through a helicopter headphones, they don't hear shit.
It's more for him.
It's more for him and his team,
His team, yeah.
Back in the day, though, like before all these sound canceling headphones stuff, like these people complaining about the stuff that goes on now, they could not live through those days, dude. Corey will remember, like Corey will remember sometimes, especially like in the Canadian scene. I don't know much about the American scenes. I wasn't really in that. I was too.
The LA lands are pretty bad. Like they would, or like the SoCal, like NorCal lands, they would yell a lot.
In CSGO, I went to some of those, but like in 1.6, like towards the end, I would pretty much only go to like the Canadian, like Ontario lands and stuff like that. And I've told the story about when Corey yelled at me before, which he didn't even remember, but I remembered it. It was pretty funny. But either way, like there's like, dude, when you were like, they used to be in the pits, you know, like in the pit, and you're sitting like back, like monitors back to back with the team you're playing against. And there was some serious psychological warfare that would go on.
Bring that back. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, the players don't.
No, you could just pick someone and just talk shit to them, like the whole game. Like, and if they're mentally not that strong, like some people don't care. Like you can talk shit to them, and it's not really gonna do anything. Like people that yell at Swag at lands when he was on my team, I would just laugh at them. I'm like, you're doing nothing. You're just wasting your breath. I'm not gonna tell them that. They can keep doing it, but like it's almost like Brax doesn't even acknowledge that someone talks shit to him. He's just like, whatever. Like it does. Like I don't know, but like. Some players would you could get really deep in their head and they'll just like collapse. Like, I don't know. No, I yelled at Kenny S a couple times and like, I love Kenny and I don't think he like holds it against me. It's just in the game. Like, but I'm not saying anything bad. You're just saying like, you know, you're just like, you whiffing that shot, you know, it's nothing like crazy.
Yeah,
it's
like,
just
Kenny,
like,
you can't miss those ones, dude. Those are the ones
like you're the best stopper in the world. Like you got to hit that, you know what I mean?
No, I remember this was a pretty recent Fragadelphia. It was the one that I won with Onage. I think it was 2017. It was like me, Mitch, Whitmer, Caboose. Fuck, I feel like a dick. I can't remember who our 5th was. Oh shit, that's super toxic. Quick, Alex, look it up and save me. But it was
edit this out. Edit this.
Yeah, edit this out. Cut it. Fuck. Why can't I remember who our 5th was? Fuck it. Anyways, we
Must have
were
been
playing
somebody who just doesn't matter to you at all.
Yeah, must be somebody who's just super
was-
irrelevant and doesn't matter.
Was it? Wait, you said swag. It was swag.
It was Brax. Oh, that's.
He's not a CS pro anymore. It doesn't matter. Who
He's
cares?
retired from Counter Strike now.
Valorant.
He's going
more
to
a player
Project
now.
fucking Anal or whatever that game's called.
Anyways, but we were playing against this French team, and GMD was playing with them, and Vez, and a bunch of those classic French guys, and
Sabrosa.
me and Whitmer. Sabrosa might have been playing with them, and me and Whitmer were just going at, and it was like the classic, like in the pit, monitors back to back, and we were going at Vez over and over again, every round, win or lose, shit talking Vez, shit talk Vez, shit talk Vez, shit talk Vez, over and over and over. And then when we were winning like 9-1 at some point, Vez just like gets up, throws his headphones down, and he looks at Whitmer. He's like, "Let's go, fucking outside right now, bro. Let's go." And he was so mad.
Yeah.
He was so pissed that he was like, "All right, pause the game. I'm going to fight Whitmer outside right now." and fucking Whip and Sean just stands up. He's like, "You're losing 9-1. Sit your bitch ass down, dude. Sit the fuck down. You're losing 9-1. You gotta." It was fucking hilarious.
If you actually look at the stats for this game that Davey's talking about, Vez did end up dropping 44 ADR for the series.
Yeah, no,
so
we were.
It was in his
tilted
head.
the fuck out of
It was in his head.
Dude. We were relentless. Like,
Yeah.
and then every time they won a round, they would do exactly what we were talking about earlier, where they would try to like, "Yeah, no, we're back," blah, 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 and then they would like lose the next one, and we would just fucking just shit on them. Like, oh, it was awesome. I love that. I love that. That was my favorite part about those lands.
And people get mad, but like you can go on YouTube and look at like NBA shit talking, like NFL shit. Like you'll hear people, especially when they're mic'd up. Like you don't hear all of it because sometimes they're not, but like it's part of sports. It's part of competing. You know, like you just say shit.
I was really excited for the evacuated games that we were going to be played in like NBA, NHL, whatever. Because if you could hear the shit talking, like because there's no crowd in the arenas, it would have been so sick to hear like just like the shoes just squeaking and it's like, "Get the fuck out of my way" or some shit like that. It's just like,
whoa, Alex, what was that an impression of?
just just kept Garnett. That's the Garnett impression. Right
Yeah. Okay. Right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, that would have been fucking awesome. I'm sad, but it's the way it goes. It's the fucking way she goes. It's the fucking way she goes.
Now I got a question for you guys about the whole yelling at land thing. Now, what I'm wondering is, okay, yeah, you guys said that you can't yell if you're down. Why not? Like, I get the idea that it makes you look stupid, but why do you care about that if you're potentially like energizing your team for that couple key rounds or whatever that you need to win?
Because everyone on your team "Let's go" to your teammates or something. Like you could be like loud, like into yourself, but you can't talk shit to another team if you're losing 0-8. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, I mean, like, I'm just saying you could, and maybe that would help your team out.
But your entire team would be like, dude.
You're cheating. Like you're cheating with your emotional stability right there. It's like, if you guys lose the next round, then it's like then they're gonna shit talk you, and you're just gonna sink in your chair like, "Oh shit, why didn't you say anything?" Like that's
No, I've had times when I've done that when I was losing a game real bad, and the other team was talking shit to me, so I talk shit back, and my teammate's like, "Dude, shut the fuck up!" Like,
yeah, exactly. No, focus on the fucking script,
dude. Shut the fuck up.
You just fucked up the last round, dude. Come on, what the fuck are you doing?
We're losing 9-1. You shut the fuck up. Like, like that's happened to me before. I think Arya. I've had and Arya never. Like, Arya's a very calm, cool guy, but there's been times during games where he's just been like, "Davey, shut the fuck up." Like, so sometimes it just really just depends on your team and what the situation is.
I see.
Yeah. So like you said, you could, but you would almost have to like.
I'd be that guy. I wouldn't care what my ADR is.
Your entire team would have to like across the board expect to lose the game, and you were just trying to fuck with them and have fun. That would be like the only way.
I think it'd be better to yell like motivational stuff, kind of like the Brazilians do, where they just yell amongst themselves, being like, "Yo, let's go, let's fucking go, let's get this round," like that kind of shit. Like I think like that's more beneficial if you're losing.
I think actually if you like in the old economy, actually it'd still work in the new economy too. Like I remember that at some lands people would shout like reset or some shit like they know that a lot of rounds were really close, like 0-1 or like 1 alive, 2 alive, something like that. And then when they finally win their round, they would say something like reset, we're coming or some shit like that. And then like they would string a couple because they know they're probably gonna string a couple rounds together off of that one. So then that can like instill some fear. But like if their money's
can't do that anymore and go, you just have guns.
I don't know. I don't know who I was playing with. I might have been playing with Corey. I don't actually remember. It might have been when we were at that Asus LAN in LA. when we were playing against Ghost, and we had won a bunch of rounds, and then they won like a super close clutch round, and they started screaming and yelling because we've been yelling at them the whole time, so they were yelling back. And then I think it was Corey. It might have been Roka though. I don't remember exactly, but wasn't me. I know that, but one of you said, "You're happy you won that round. Now you're just gonna be money fucked when we win this one. Like you got like nothing."
yeah,
It was
exactly.
like you barely won, and now you're gonna be money fucked. Like it was something like that.
Dude, that was actually a decent land.
No, they ran that super smoothly. Yeah, that was a good one. That was a good event. And then we went to fucking Malaysia and got fucking bopped.
See, we should have. Well,
Is that the one that
we
doesn't
should
like
have
gay
won
people?
cash. Yeah.
No, we should have. That was against what eventually became
Tyloo.
No. Well, yeah, but we did lose to Tyloo, but the Kazakhstan team with AdreN and
Gambit.
Hobbit.
Oh, right.
Yeah, Gambit. It was Gambit. Yeah.
We beat them on one map and then we lost on them the next time.
Yeah.
But when we lost the BO3 to Tyloo, we had like a couple 2v4s and 2v3s that like were unlosable, but we had players just kind of like peak and just get clapped. And it's the peaks that like you can't trade off. Like for example, there was one run where I had 8 health and I said like I'll have first contact, and the other person peaked and died, and then I have 8 health. So it's like it's like it was a 2v4, but at the same time, if that person dies, it's basically a 2v2 because I can't really do anything. And like my angle is shit, and I know that. But if the person just peeks off of me, then
then
probably
you trade and then 2v1 hopefully, and it's like anyways.
Yeah, there's a lot of people things in Counter-Strike, like if you have low health and someone's high health on CT, like just die first for them. Like like if it's a good situation, sometimes it's not, but people don't hide enough.
That's definitely true. The whole concept of hiding and staying alive is lost a lot of the time.
Yeah, and like in 4v4s and 5v5s, I understand like full hiding honestly can get you killed a lot. But in 2v3s and 2v4s, when you're up numbers, if you're a B player and there's a rotator, if you just sit emo or try box just hiding, like you have to make them commit into the site. Like a lot of times they're just looking, they're just prodding, like they're hoping they get a kill on coffins. They're hoping they get a kill on you peeking from like the fountain or something. Like they don't really want to commit in because they have to check 8,000 spots. So I don't know. That's just a little rant, I guess.
Yeah. And speaking of AdreN, what we were talking about earlier, you saw this news that he has now. I read the headline and it was like AdreN takes over as Virtus Pro captain. I was like, the fuck does that mean? Like, what, he's the captain now? Like, all right, cool.
James
like,
is now the best offer in the world.
So they meant in-game leader when they said captain. But yeah, so that's exactly. Yeah. A little bit
why?
of a desperation move, I feel like. Because this team, since they've signed for Duke, could you imagine being Virtus Pro, having that shit Polish team like for years and paying them so much money, and they weren't winning anything, but at least they were marketable in your region. You know what I mean? Like at least in Poland, they were massive.
There would always be a fan crowd.
Right,
even
exactly.
At, like V4 esports arena, they had their own cheering section or some shit.
And then now you move to this team, top 2 at the major. They're looking really good. It's like, all right, we'll pick up this Kazakhstan team. Everyone thinks this is a good move. And then just
they look solid, and then they just weren't.
And then just
I'm not sure what the team. I haven't watched them lately because they haven't really been in much that I've cared about watching. Like like some matchups are just boring to me.
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean? Like it's just like I'm not saying it's nothing against the teams. It's just like you want to see like Liquid versus Navi or something more than you like some of the tier 2 versus whatever. But when I watch them, I don't really know why they got worse. I feel like their playstyle is so slow that people just eventually probably just learn to adapt, and like it didn't like I think they caught a lot of people off guard in their first like run just by their playstyle being so odd. Like they would take A on Dust 2 and James would just be off in mid still. Like he's just on cat, just there, and people are trying to rotate over and just getting killed, and they're probably like, fuck, like like it just was weird.
Like why does James have that haircut? You know what I mean? Like he's not even an ugly guy. He's not, but
he's saving on haircuts too.
I don't know what's going. Like, what is?
He's trying to be like Jesus-esque.
Dude, but it's like he cuts it off right
the
here.
The ultimate gamer.
He should just keep it growing, or
exactly. Just let it grow. Do the long hair thing.
Yeah.
Or just cut it. He's like stuck in the middle, but intentionally. I don't know. I'm not sure.
I feel like when James gets out of CS Prac, he opens WoW instantly. Like that's just the vibe. Like
his hair should be longer than
dude. Yeah. He has been somebody who has fallen off cliff though.
Yeah, I think he lost a lot of confidence. I think, okay, I did notice this because I saw him at Epicenter when I was there. And one of the things that I noticed about VP is that their playstyle is slow in the beginning, but when they get kind of desperate, their adaptation in a mid-round or like mid-half T side is usually just James starts being more aggressive. And if he can't get picks, they kind of just fall into like their T sides are just like two modes. It's just regular slow with James really far back, or regular slow but James at the front. Like that's the only fucking thing they changed. So then if James doesn't hit shots, then it's like he just loses confidence really fast.
Which is
like,
weird because they have really good aggressive riflers like Buster. Buster
Yeah.
is so good. Like
Yes.
Buster is ridiculously good at entry fragging. He's that entry fragger who
Dude.
he's not the guy who gets you a kill every time. Like he's not that guy who like runs in, gets a kill, dies, gets a kill, dies. He'll like do like 2 or 3 rounds where you don't notice him, and then like that 4th round he'll just run in and just 3 headshots, just bang, 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 round's yours now.
Dude,
and like
at the major, he was like just shooting. He would entry, and then it's like a CT right clicks a smoke in front of them, you know, just trying to create some space or something like that. Buster just like knows exactly where that CT is going to be through the smoke, and I'm like, what the like?
Yeah.
How did he know that? Like that's so crazy, and he has really good sense too. Yeah, or game sense. I mean, not sensitivity.
Well, is he? Well, what sensitivity is he on? Corey?
Probably something.
Who, James?
No, Buster.
880 probably.
880.
Buster? I think like 2.2 or something, right? Let's see.
I don't know.
Buster says...
That'd be 880. That'd be 880.
What the fuck you talking about 880? What does that mean?
880 effective DPI. 880 it's like your sense multiplied by your.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Oh yeah, that's how I see it.
960 stretch to ZA12 GSR.
I hung out with Buster
standard.
a little bit at the hotel that we were all staying at, and he was just really quiet guy. s1mple was there, Buster was there, and like s1mple was talking, Buster was just like.
That's one thing I want to talk about like doing analyst work or working on broadcast. That is like totally different from traditional sports to esports. Is that on traditional sports, if a player plays bad and like the broadcast team fucking roast them, they don't have to like take the shuttle back to the hotel.
You don't see them.
Like when the guy's sitting right behind you and you're just like, look, man, it wasn't personal. Like I just what I saw. Like I'm not trying to cause any shit here. You know what I mean? Like I'm not trying to like. So that I felt like that was super awkward where you had to like roast players or talk shit about players or like say one thing where you like really praise one guy like super hard and then like the other 4 players on his team are like, what the fuck, dude? What about me? Like we all played good.
Or you see them at the after party and they're like kind of drunk too, and it's like, oh, I said something bad about you. Like,
I just don't go to after parties. I've never gone to after parties. I got kicked out of one after party at DreamHack Austin. I haven't gone to one since.
I actually
although that wasn't my fault. I mean, okay, it was my fault because I was underage, but I wasn't like misbehaving. I was just underage, which is bull. I was 20. Like it was bullshit with American drinking laws.
I was at the DreamHack Anaheim after party, and I won't say what pro's name, but I was leaving the after party, and there's this pro outside, and he was like, I was like, hey man, what's up? What's good? I'm a big fan or whatever. And then he's like, yo man, you gotta get me back in this after party. I'm like, what happened? And he's like, yeah dude, I was just trying to hype the crowd up. I was getting too like hype in there, and then they kicked me out because I was just being too loud or something like that. I was like, okay, yeah, I'll help you back in. And then so I talked to the security guard on this guy's behalf, and I'm like, yo dude, my friend over here, he slipped on an ice cube, he fell, he looked drunk, they kicked him out, but he's like, he's good, like he's fine, like if you look at him now, he's fine. And so like he starts getting back in, but then there's like another layer of security getting back into the after party, and then another higher up security guard tells me and him, he's like, no, this guy tried to start a fight with somebody, so he can't come back in. And I'm like, okay, I'm out, I'm a leave now, like I was planning to.
Yeah. I still think after parties are a disaster. They're always a disaster.
Yeah, there's somebody.
And there's always travel. There's always travel the
right
next
after.
day. So, dude, like one time, I think I might have told this story on here before. I don't know if I have or not. So if I'm repeating myself, I'm sorry. Everybody can make fun of me in the comments. I don't care. Make fun of me. Just go download Draft Buff. That's all that matters. But so
download Draft Buff.
Yeah, exactly. Just download Draft Buff. But so it was at the after party, and this is when I was on Splice with Machine Gun, Asilian, Crucial, that whole thing. And Asilian and Crucial went to this after party, and they, to be fair, it's not like they were they were just at the after party, but they stayed out till like 3 a.m, right? And then they come back, and we had a flight at 6 a.m. the next day.
Yeah.
So like they weren't doing anything crazy. Like I'm not like throwing shade at them. But they were doing the after party thing. And so they come back to their hotel super late, and the next morning we're all like waiting downstairs in the shuttle to go to the airport, and they're just not there. Like they're just not answering their phones. They're not there. So I had to go to like the hotel, like concierge, get the manager. Was like, hey, can you let us into this room? He's like, we're not really supposed to. I'm like, look, we have to all get on the shuttle. these are my teammates. Like I just want you to open the door. Like I just need to wake them up. He's like, all right, fine. So he takes me up, open up the door, and I just hear alarms going off, like phone alarms. The stationary alarm on the thing. Both of their phone alarms are just bang, 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 bang. And we walk in, and he's like, and the hotel manager's like, oh my god. And he like turns and walks out. I walk in, I'm like, guys, get the fuck up right now. We gotta go. Anyway, so then that was like a whole thing. Asilian resisted a little bit. He really didn't want to get out of that bed. He was a little drunk still, but we got him out of bed. We made it on time. We didn't miss our flight, so everything's fine.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
after parties are a problem.
I had to literally leave the epicenter after party and just go on my flight. Like I didn't even get to sleep or anything.
Oh,
I just,
see,
like,
dude,
went straight,
I
there.
would throw up. I would not be able to do that. I would get so sick, dude. Like not even joking. I cannot do that. It wouldn't work for me. Like I'm not capable. I get so sick when I travel.
Oh, for real.
It's a disaster for me. It's no good.
Thankfully, in my car ride there to the airport, Stanislaw was there to calm me down. Very level IGL.
Very no, that's
in
true.
The car.
Yeah, very calming voice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when I was going to Unza, I was Woxic was the guy who was on my shuttle. Oh, okay. Actually, you know what? I don't know if I actually no. I can't
You said his name already.
No. That one actually didn't have anything to do. Woxic. So the thing with Woxic
okay.
is we were on the shuttle going to our hotel like the day we got there, and I just got to sit and talk with him about mouse sports and all the stuff. He was a super cool guy, and he was telling me about how he thought like they really had a good chance of winning this event. Obviously, Astralis are the favorites, blah blah blah, and they ended up winning the event, which was awesome for them. Yeah, super cool guy was my point. But anyway, so the story was like on my way back to going to the airport when I was leaving. It was I honestly I don't know if I should tell it. I'll have to wait.
Do it, pussy.
Next week. No, next week. I have to discuss with everybody here first before they think.
Did you get to see his Lil Wayne arm sleeve tattoo? Like his entire bicep has Lil Wayne's face on it. That's something I noticed in Russia.
On Woxic?
Yeah, on Woxic.
That's awesome.
Dude, it's just wheezy, Yeah.
Yeah, no, he was a super nice guy. That's funny. I wouldn't have expected that.
Yeah, it was kind of like, it caught me off guard. Me and Duncan noticed that, and we're like, is that Lil Wayne on his bicep? Like, what a tattoo. Like, it's just his face. All right.
Yeah. Interesting. Like, yeah, would not have picked that. So how about all these pro league changes, dude? Like I'm just looking through all these groups. It's like this change, this change, this change, this change. Kind of fucked me a little bit because I was supposed to do the finals in Denver, but obviously that's not happening anymore.
Dude, I wonder how long they're gonna like stop lanes and shit. Because like
months.
Pretty much like the whole world is stopping, like one country at a time. Like
yeah, it personally like. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, never mind. I don't really want to talk, but I think it's gonna be a few months anyways before everything goes back to normal.
Kill all bats. Kill them all.
I went to sleep in my Bitcoin lost $5,000 in like 8 hours of me sleeping. I woke up and I was like
40% in a day.
I was like, all right, we won't check this again for a while.
Yeah, no, honestly, just don't look at it. Just sit on it. If anything, buy more.
Buy now. Yeah, now's the time.
Yes, that's what I told my friends too. I was like, look, within the next week or two, I was like, you should check how much more it's going to drop because you can kind of guess, but like now's a good time to buy. It's going to go back up, like unless
everything will. Well, Bitcoin's a little bit iffy, but as far as stocks go, like if you're like a stock market trader or if you're a young gamer thinking about getting into the stock market, it's definitely a buying market.
It might not go back up to what it originally was, but like I don't think it's going to stay as low as it is. Like people pulled money because they thought they're trying to predict, right? Yeah. Like, oh no, if everyone's pulling, if I pull first, then I get to keep the money and you can re-put it back in when it's lower too.
Well, with Pro League going online now, I think me and Corey, no offense, Alex, me and Corey can remember when Pro League was online and those Pro League servers in North America. I don't know if it's so bad in Europe. I don't know if it was just as bad in Europe, but for my last season of Pro League that I played the entire season with fucking red VAR every single game.
Yeah, same with me.
And it was just like, and you'd send it to them, and they would just be like, "Yeah, sorry, I don't know." And I was like,
they told us one time that like the early match servers are better, and you're in the later ones, so they're worse. And we're like, how does that make any sense? Like, I don't understand. I couldn't believe it. But like the best we had is orange. Like my VAR was always orange or red. Like and it's weird because the game doesn't feel any worse. It just feels like your bolts go through people. Like, like you just shoot people and you're like, you should have died. And then
you're spraying and it skips. Like it'll like you're just skip bullets in your spray.
Yeah, like
and you just be like,
when my VAR is bad, my game still feels smooth. Like everything feels fine. It's just like my bullets don't work. Like and you go from playing like on a non-client scrim server like Denver where you ping 35 and it's just smooth, and then you go onto a client that kind of hurts your frames, and like I don't know if anyone's ever like actually determined how much clients are diminishing performance, but 100% ESA and FACEIT client definitely hurt your game performance. Like I don't know if you guys all agree, but like they definitely make the game feel worse, I think.
Yeah, just like some people get like way more frame loss. Like I thought the ESEA client, there was some people like, I know Com kept tweeting about it, or like a few people talk about how just like ESEA, every time I boot this up, I'll get like 100 frame drop, and that's not as bad for me, but I know it's like I lose like 20 or 30 frames for sure.
I don't lose that many frames either. I just feel like the game feels a little bit less crisp is all, like on clients. Like in terms of just like, you know, if you go to DM, you just slide around a corner, one shot 3 people. I feel like it's like a little bit less chance, but I don't know. It could be just the ping is higher too when I play on the servers as well in general.
Well, you were doing like dual PC streams a while ago, and you were talking about how it was a similar feeling because you had to, when you were doing single PC, it was a lot more rough. Like you really felt the difference. I feel like that's probably something similar.
Oh yeah, single PC is definitely like your mouse doesn't listen to your hand as well. And I started doing NDI streaming because Jordan told me about it. And to be honest, it's not 100% the same as dual PC, but it's the closest you're going to get without like having the capture card sound audio issues that anyone that's tried to set up a dual PC stream with like a Elgato or Avermedia, it's a bitch. Like it really
apparently
is.
You just need a mixer.
It took me so long.
I had a mixer, but like,
did you? Yeah, I've got like Flom linked me a bunch of stuff to get, and he was like, yeah, like you can just do it with HDMI audio, like you're talking about, but then that causes like if there's a problem, it's super hard to fix, or
the sound will go out of sync for you or your viewer a lot. Like that's the main issue that I found.
If I stream using my dual PC setup, I basically just have to restart both computers, unplug and replug things back in sometimes, and just like
yeah, that happened to me too. Like
it fixes it though, but like,
it's
annoying that it has to happen. Yeah,
you're just like, why though? Like
yeah. And Anders is on my screen right now because I have the Flashpoint stream open on my right. So shout out Anders because he looks fucking great. He's lost so much weight. He looks awesome.
Anders. Yeah.
So good for him, Anders. If you're watching this,
do you think it's hurting his vocals at all?
Maybe. I don't know. I know like it's like a thing. Like opera singers are just fat.
Yeah, no. I'm just kidding. I don't
have any science behind that. That's just an observation.
No,
what if Anders loses weight? He just becomes a huge douchebag. You know, he just starts wearing like backwards hats and like chains and shit, and just like talking shit.
And he just totally changes. He just becomes like the opposite person.
He just shows up late to events all the time. I'm like, we're supposed to go live, but Anders, we can't find him.
His hype goes down too. Instead of like, he's like, you gotta be kidding me. He's like, I guess that was cool. Like, you know, like, that was all right.
Simple's got 25 kills. Expected a little bit more, but
yeah, everything's just too easy everything's too regular for him now. Yeah.
Fucking yeah, that would be.
He starts shit talking Moses on the cast. He's like, "Come on, Jason, you know that was gonna happen, man." Like, he lights a cigarette like mid cast,
but makes no predictions himself. You know, like
yeah, you
that's
can't
how
ever be wrong.
That's how you win those.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh my god, this Chaos team is playing MIBR. I played against this Chaos team last week in a qualifier.
Yeah.
In the minor qualifier, I was playing with Mythic. Haven't played CS in 2 months, by the way.
Banged them out.
Won the game. I mean, they were playing without Steel, so like, you know.
They weren't playing with Sick either.
They at least lost 60% of their skill. Skill's not there.
That's true.
They lose a lot.
Dude, it was super awkward too because I didn't know I was going to be playing. And I had talked shit about them on Twitter, like not really talk shit, but I had just tweeted out. It was like, look, guys, I don't know, like this Chaos team just isn't very good. Like Steel's a good in-game leader, and Smoothie is talented. Besides that, their whole team's average as fuck. And I tweeted that out, and then I find out like 2 days later that I have to play against them in a qualifier that weekend, and I haven't played CS in 2 months. And I was like, fuck, dude. Damn it. And we won, so I was like, oh my god, this is.
You backed it up.
Apparently, no, I played like shit, but
yeah, I saw you had the worst stats.
I didn't look at the stats to be honest with you, but
I
I'm
think
not
Calm
surprised.
had like 120 ADR or something.
Oh yeah,
insane.
in that series, Calm went off on the first map, but second, I mean, he played well every map, but I think he went off on the map. I don't
Yeah, was the
remember.
first map Nuke? I saw some highlights from that.
I don't know. No, the Nuke was second map. Nuke was a map we lost.
Yeah, he was really keeping it competitive though. Props to him.
He's good.
I guess we got to remove that command in your Twitch chat, which just posts a clown emoji when you type his name. That's
oh no, he's still a clown.
Oh, okay.
He's still a clown. Like absolutely, no, he's still a fucking clown. But he's definitely gotten better at Counter Strike. Still a clown though. Cool guy.
They're not mutually exclusive.
Calm. Yeah, they're not mutually. Exactly. Look at Smooya. He's good. He's real good. Fucking clown.
Is a bit of a dolphin. Would like to never have to hear that again. Talking about shouting at land, but
like the rosters he joins and stuff make no sense to me. Like,
Dude, he's a weird guy.
I don't think he has too many options though. I mean,
yeah,
well,
he had to stand in.
Like, twice. Like I don't understand.
Oh, I don't think the second time was a leaving though. Was it? Do we have insight on that?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure they were like, "Fuck this, we're going full German." Fourth Reich.
I have very limited encounters with him. I spoke to him a little bit after he left Big the first time, and he's just a strange guy. That's all. I don't know. That's all I got. He's just a strange guy. He was nice though. Nice guy. Everything. I know the rat meme is.
He does seem more approachable now. Like when he was on Flashpoint, he seemed to like he was talking shit, but not in a way that was going to get on anybody's nerves really.
Yeah.
Whereas before, it seems like he was a little bit more no holds barred kind of character.
Yeah. I don't know, but. Yeah, anyways, so Chaos is playing against MIBR right now, and this MIBR team, like, dude, KNG has been terrible.
He's
like,
fallen off a cliff.
Awful. He's not even good anymore. Like he was like the best Brazilian player at one point last year when he was playing on INTZ. When you look at like all of Brazil, the other players, it was like, okay, Coldzera is probably still number one. But KNG was like fucking number two, like he was like that guy. And then since he joined this MIBR team, dude. Holy shit.
I had a fill, I think, on a scrim we had or something against INTZ last season. Like, someone didn't show up for practice, and I felt like I literally would see his arm and just get opt every single time. Like, I see the least possible of his view model, and he's just destroying me. Like, I haven't felt that in a server versus anybody ever, Yeah. It's just insane kind of shit. But now it's like...
So you're saying he's onliner?
Maybe a little bit, but he did do really well at that one major, so you can't really say that. But
do you think hand tattoos help or hurt a player's performance? Because he's got quite a few.
I think one thing. I've thought about this. If you once you get a sleeve and a hand tattoo, all the skill you have is locked. It's locked, and you will never. Your ceiling is there. You can go beneath that ceiling, but you will never increase your overall peak skill.
But if you just have a sleeve, you're still unleashed. Like you can still go out. Like
the sleeve kind of locks it. The sleeve kind of locks it too. Like a full sleeve. If it's a half sleeve, you're pretty much free to do whatever you want. But once you get the full sleeve, like Twist right now, he locked his aim in with that full sleeve. Like it's
that's fair. That does make sense. I've never even considered that.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but. Okay, that's fair. No, that's valid.
I thought this was something everybody thought about. I don't know.
No, that's true. So again, Corey's had this theory for years that the more muscular you get, the slower you are because you just have more mass to move.
It's true.
Can't move your hand as fast.
Right. So if you're really muscular and have and have a sleeve, you're pretty much fucked.
You're screwed.
You have to think about it though. If you get the muscle mass more, right?
Mm-hmm.
The problem is once you increase your muscle memory, there's more storage space. You know what I mean? Like, so you can actually become better, but it's just it's like more size, like a bigger hard drive, right? So
okay.
Solid state.
So you're slower, but so it just requires more training because it has all of your reactions have to be muscle memory.
But you have to relearn, because so that's the problem. So these skinny guys, they stay skinny. They don't got to relearn. They just quick, So
okay.
Okay,
this is s1mple wakes up and has a coffee and bread, and then plays games for like 12 hours.
This is a question I have, and I think a lot of healthy gamers are in denial about this. But if you're lifting heavy weights, your aim is not that good that day. Like it can't.
I tell people not to. True. I literally tell people message me on my Gmail, and I'm like, if you have an important game, don't either lift after your match or or do like 3 sets of 12 to 15 reps, like things like higher reps, lower weight, because I feel like you're fatiguing your muscle, but not your central nervous system when you do it that way.
Yeah.
Although I'm more a fan of training heavy, but I get it. Like your priority is Counter-Strike, not.
Yeah, if your priority is aiming in a game like and having fine motor skills and stuff like that, if you're gonna lift like, you know, over 100 pounds like with these same wrists, like you're not gonna
Over
be able to,
100
like,
pounds. Okay, calm down, Alex. Fuck
No,
it.
I'm just
Over
like
100 pounds.
I'm just putting out a number. You know, it's not even that much.
Alex is
You
over
think
there
this-
curling just 150 pounds. He's just
I'm
like
just doing isolations before matches and shit. Yeah, just. But I'm just like you're not gonna be as good that day. You're not gonna be as good at practice. You're not gonna be as good in your match. And like some people are
I think
like,
it
no,
affects
you
people's
can
mental
lift.
too. Like if you go
You're fatigued.
100% on a deadlift, I don't care. You'll be tired.
No, yeah,
you'll
You
be
can't. Yeah.
fatigued mentally as well. Bench is a little bit different. Like I feel like upper body, you can't move as much weight, but it still
I feel like
affects
that
you.
too. I feel like upper or like push days, upper body days are more okay. But if you're doing like back day, like pull days, like you're
Back,
done.
like any deadlift, Romanian deadlift, heavy rows, they fatigue you a lot. Like
Yeah.
they really do.
Your lifting is not, or your aiming is not going to be as good that day. But some people
I
still
think
try
if
to
you
do
keep your squats in a higher rep range, you get affected a lot less though. Like that's what I found at least. Just
it.
but
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I've noticed, Davey. Anytime you tell me you hit a new PR at the gym, like I
Mhm,
just see like your aim's not as good today, dude. Like
Honestly, I don't even go for PRs at the gym. I just like show up and just walk around, take a drink from the water fountain, walk around some
Dave's
more.
that guy that just kind of chats. He's
Yeah,
got like
just hangs out.
he's got his
No, I-
full Gymshark gear on. Just
Oh my
like,
God.
I put my headphones on. I walk around. I just take a sip from the water fountain, do some stretches in like the walking areas. You know.
You gotta make sure to take a
Then,
selfie too. You gotta
Oh,
take
of
a
Dude,
real
you gotta
course,
make
selfie.
sure though that you're like conveniently stretching next to like the hot chicks, you know, like
right,
you know,
right.
and then like when they're squatting, you're conveniently doing like an exercise near them. Like
No, I just make sure. So like the squat rack is like like we have like our row area, right? And then to the front left is the squat rack. So if you just conveniently time when you're doing your rows to when there's people squatting, you can just look right over.
yeah, yeah.
Ah, yes, yeah.
I only when there's really hot guys though will I do it.
Dude, the stories I hear for some girls
Same.
at my gym of like how creepy guys are, it's like you
Yeah.
honestly wouldn't believe it if you didn't see them doing it.
No,
And you're
it's
just
true.
like, really? You're like, what are you gaining from this? Go to Pornhub. Like, I don't understand.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand, man.
No, it's true. People can be super creepy at the gym.
They just want that human connection, you know?
My one friend, she was like stretching before she leaves. She noticed the guy takes a picture. She actually went and called him out. She's like, show me the picture you just took. And he's like, oh no, I was just taking a picture for my brother. I was showing him I was at the gym. And she's like, okay, let me see it. And he shows just a picture of her ass. She's like, delete it. Like,
Dude, that is
like, but I was like, well, what a fucking idiot for showing her. I would just like refuse. Like if
Yeah,
that was me. Like,
no, get away from
fuck
me,
that.
weirdo. Why are you
Dude,
trying to
it's
look at my
son-
phone?
It's my picture of me, dude. Why do you want to see it? You're the freak. You're the weirdo.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
turn
fucking
that around.
You fucking psycho! Why are you trying to look at my phone, dude? We're not even dating. Like, what are you talking about?
But you wanted to date, like I would, but like you're not. So like,
are you hitting
But now
on me
you've
right
ruined
now?
it though. But like
Yo.
maybe we'll give you a second chance though.
Yeah, like, oh fuck, dude. Yeah.
No, what if the guy actually did show her just because on the off chance that she was into that whole exhibitionist thing or voyeur or whatever, and he's like, oh, maybe she'll be into it. Yeah, this will work. Some guys are that dumb, I think.
I mean, there are idiots, there are morons, but didn't work. Didn't work. He got reported to the front desk.
Have you ever taken a picture of somebody at the gym?
me?
Yes.
I feel like not in a creep way, but if maybe someone was doing something that looked like crazy, like but I don't think I have. Oh, the only thing I ever did was at my school gym. Someone laid their jacket on a thing that said wet paint, so I took a picture of that. That's like the only time I ever took a picture of anyone at a gym.
I
Just
took a
like,
picture of
there's a wet paint sign right there.
I
with
took a
them
picture of
laying
a
the
lady
jacket down.
once at the gym and sent it to my friend because it was this girl who must have been, I don't know, 95 years old, this woman, and she was fucking killing it on the treadmill. And I
Oh,
was like, you know what?
okay.
fucking good for you. And I was like, I told my friend, I was like, dude, there's this like 90-something-year-old lady running on the treadmill, and I can't run for like 3 minutes without wanting to pass out. And she's just killing it on the treadmill for like the 20 minutes I've been here. She's still going. So I took a picture and showed it to him because that was inspirational.
It's pretty
What
decent.
that was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She's
so good for her.
preparing. Corona's not
That's
getting
wholesome.
her, you know.
No, no chance.
I took a video one time of this guy. He was like, must have been 30. He had a little bit of a gut, wearing a way too tight Super Saiyan Vegeta shirt. You know, like the you know what I mean. The ones that are like their fake armor, the white one, the white and blue armor.
It has like fake abs on it, kind of thing.
Yeah, it has fake abs and shit. And he was doing side lateral raises, just swinging, but not even getting them like half up, swinging them. And I was just like, man, this is one of the worst workouts I've ever seen. Like, it was just like I get it. If you're gonna cheat, you want to go a little bit heavier, ego, whatever. I don't even care that much. But like, at least if you're cheating, get it up, like to the get it all the way up. He was getting to like here, like I don't know. I was just it blew my mind. I was like, man, this is the worst.
I get the protractor out for that one, then I like look at it and I'm like, okay, well, not above 30 degrees.
Angle,
This
that's
is trash.
a good angle.
That's trash.
I was just laughing.
We had this one old guy who was like this old, I don't know, I think it might have been like some old Mexican guy who was at my gym, and he was probably in his 60s, and he would show up at the same time every day in jeans and like a collared shirt and just go do his workouts. And it was always on those like preset machines, like like no free weights. He would just go sit down, do like the leg curls. Then sometimes he would do like the bicep like thing, and I was like, dude, you really just show up and just like do some exercise every day in your jeans and collared shirt. I thought that was funny. Like, good for him though. Like some old fat guy, but it was like you have no plan whatsoever for what.
Dude, there's some random people that will come in my gym and they're wearing like jeans, and like I never understood, because I'm always like, that's so uncomfortable. Like, not even that I care that you're working out it, but like I can't imagine working out in jeans.
Yeah, it would just be awful.
Yeah.
Like you wear yoga pants. Right, Corey?
That is true.
Like, so
not yoga pants,
jeans is
leggings.
yeah. Like that. Like, think about the step down to jeans from that.
It's usually upper body day is like sweats, and then like anything where I'm doing a lot of bending, like deadlifts and squats, I like leggings, just because I don't know. Things like move and get annoying. I don't know. If you've never worn leggings, you don't know. They're amazing. Girls have been keeping them from us guys, and it's time to bring them completely back to ourselves.
Look, I agree. I've got some, like, having comfortable pants is an underrated thing, okay? I've got some Lululemon pants. I've got a couple pairs now, and these things are like the most comfortable pants you've ever worn.
Their stocks are down too, dude. You can,
Yeah, I can become an owner.
I don't know if you can become an owner, but you can invest in some.
Well, you buy some stocks, dude, that you're a partial owner, right? That's maybe they'll give me some free pants.
Dude, girls love Lululemon, dude. Like,
they're great.
If you don't know what to get a girl for a present, Lululemon, dude, you can't even go wrong. Anything that you buy will work.
Gift card.
Yeah, or that, and they have a good return policy too. So
that's true. If your pants break like years later and you give it back to them, they'll just give you a new pair.
Yeah. Wasn't it the Lululemon guy though, like the CEO, the guy that said like these aren't for fat people or something?
Yeah,
so
you got shit for that.
He's a candidate for cool guy of the week.
Yeah, it actually makes me want to invest more.
Like, how much money do I have right now?
I don't know. It was weird to me though, because it was like these people were complaining there wasn't big enough sizes, but it's like not everything can be made for like quad XL and be still like trendy and cool, like I don't know.
Yeah,
Corey, honestly, that's pretty fucked up.
Yeah, I know. I don't know.
Fat exclusive.
I was fat. I didn't think I wasn't like messaging like fucking Hugo Boss being like, your jackets don't fit me right. Like, I don't know. Just don't wear that brand. Like,
nah, Corey. Nope.
You can't expect people to change themselves. They have to change the world. That's how this works.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I get it. It is workout shit. So like, I kind of understand. Like, it's nice if you're bigger to have options, but like, I don't know. It seems weird. Just that you're gonna like make a big deal out of something that's like, you just go buy something else.
Yeah, or make it a goal. Like, if you really want to wear that, just be like, all right, I'm gonna lose enough weight so that I can wear that. That's your
No,
goal.
what you guys keep talking about personal responsibility. Fuck that, okay? We don't want that shit around here. We want everybody else to take care of the shit for us. No
Yeah,
personal
true.
responsibility.
True. They need
Corey,
to cater
you
to
need to
our
lift
needs.
weights for me, okay? Like
The government
already,
shouldn't
honestly,
even
you
let them
probably
get
already
fat,
do.
right? Like, how could they even let them buy the food?
That's true.
They should be rationing
Why is the
this for
government?
people.
Why is the government not
There should be
protecting
a
them?
calorie allotment for everything you can buy in a day.
Every time you're like checking out at the grocery store, you should have to stand on a scale, and there's just somebody right there who just goes,
You don't need
No.
that. You
"You
don't,
don't
need
need that."
this.
And then yeah, and if you're over, then they have to take that percent of calories out of your whatever you're buying. So like however much over you are, your calorie amount just goes down and down. So you're only allowed to buy X amount of calories depending on how much overweight you are.
You're like, I do a
Honestly,
lot of
it's very
cardio, man. I need more food.
That's-
They're like, no, you don't.
That's why I'm voting for Bernie. He talked about that plan. I thought Davey has read the same thing that I've read.
No, but honestly though, like with the Canadian Prime Minister having the thing now, Corey, this
It should not
this
be
has
named.
opened it up for you to run for Prime Minister.
Oh yeah.
It's open
right.
now. Well, not yet, but it could be in the near future. So,
I don't know, dude. Like honestly, I'm
about-
thinking like this is
They'll
gonna
just
sound
go
kinda
back and
weird.
check this VOD, and Corey's just canceled. Like, it's just...
No, I can't become a powerful person in the world because I haven't had sex with any children. Like that's the problem. So,
And Epstein's
like,
not around to hook you up anymore, so.
Dude, it seems like everyone in a high power position is fucking kids. So like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And that's the
Am
title?
I wrong here?
Demonetized?
Well. How old were you when you lost your virginity? Because you might have at some point in the past.
Oh, that's true. But it's not illegal then, and that's like.
So it has to be illegal, or it doesn't count.
I think so.
No, I think like you know how they can
Something.
look back in your your tweet history and figure out like, oh, we'll cancel you for something you said 7 years ago. I think you could cancel somebody for sex they had 7 years ago too. So I think it still counts retroactively.
Well, then sign me up, I guess. I don't know.
You're good.
You're ready. You're ready, is what we're saying.
Yeah.
Don't forget to download Draft Buff.
Don't forget to download Draft Buff. Available on iOS and Android.
Yeah, but only if you fuck kids, I guess.
Whoa.
Well, that's going a little bit further than.
Was that in the ad read? Let me
Cujo, you fucked it up again.
Cujo, you fucking idiot. God, we give this guy one job, write a script, and this is what he comes up with. Oh my god, what just happened to my camera?
This whole podcast has been scripted, by the way. We put this all together, like in advance. Nothing off the top at all.
Okay, let me just fix whatever the fuck is going on here.
Well, you know.
Do the hand thing. The hand
I
thing.
don't think
I don't know what the auto refocus.
No, it's not. It wasn't the focus. It was the color. It's because the lighting in here is so shit. I need to put my camera or my.
I read that Weinstein got like 23 years. Well, that's like pretty low for him, but whatever.
He was hoping to get it overturned, though. He was like, "My fall from grace has been punishment enough." This is a direct quote.
Oh.
Yeah.
Honestly, I never even considered that. Corey, did you consider that when you were?
I didn't. I think they should let him go. Honestly, that's fair.
Well,
he's going to. He tried to pretend he was sicker than he is. He tried to get put in like a hospital prison, and he got denied, which is awesome because fuck that guy. And then now he's going to Rikers prison apparently, unless they changed it. The last I read, which is like a shitty prison. It's got like 2 stars on Yelp. So I mean, it's not good. That's all I'm gonna say.
They didn't even send him to like a white collar prison. Like he's actually
he's going to like a shitty prison where if he doesn't like buy his life, he's gonna get fucking owned. Like he's gonna get like. So it's good. It's good. It's a good place for him to go.
So he's going in with the lifers.
He's going in with people that don't care about him. But
well, he will. Yeah. I mean, he's old enough and unhealthy enough. He'll probably die there anyway, even like of natural causes. I mean, before somebody taps him.
I don't know how U.S. prisons work. I think you can probably buy some comfort in those things if you have enough money, though. Like it's a little bit harder in Canadian prisons, I think. But I know in U.S. there's so much like little things you can get imported in like the canteen and stuff, like food. I don't know that you can kind of like buy friends.
Well,
yeah, maybe he can eat McDonald's while he's in there.
I know someone who went to prison in the U.S. at one point, and he pretty much says
you can
like
say my name, Davey. You can say my name.
Sorry. Okay, so I know Alex was in prison at one point in the past, and as Alex had said, that you can pretty much like the job of the prison is just to keep you there. Like there's so much illegal shit in the prisons, like phones, drugs, food, everything. Like they don't do shit or check for shit. They just want to make sure you are there. If you're there, that's all they care about.
Yeah, because it's free slave labor.
Yeah, well, in some places, I know in Texas they do a lot of those programs where they're just like, yeah, you're just doing work for us now.
Yeah,
Which I'm down with, honestly.
I think it was some place in Arizona that was
when
like
it's
that
not
too.
bullshit like charges that got them there. Like
No, that's true. Like I mean,
if
I've
you do
said
bad
this.
things, then you should have to do something to make up for it. But
I've said this for years. I think that as Portugal and Switzerland, I think, are the two countries in Europe that have tested it, have shown the decriminalization of all narcotics and drugs is a very efficient system.
No, it is
like you don't have to make it legal per se. Like you shouldn't just be able to like I shouldn't just be able to go buy heroin from Alex legally. But it also like me having it shouldn't be illegal either. That's what I think, anyways. We're getting a little bit political now, but
I think it's free market, man. Come on.
The war on drugs is fueled by racism, so yeah, it's okay.
Yep, it was a boomer invention. So
it was Bill Clinton coping with his anxiety.
Okay, Alex, we get it. You're the only not white guy here, okay? Dude, could you imagine? Like, Bill Clinton just has to have anxiety, though. Like, could you imagine being married to Hillary Clinton? Like, and I swear to God,
you know how much anxiety he's got now, dude? He logged on like 27 times on Epstein's plane, dude. He's in the manifest of hang on with him a lot.
And I swear to God, no matter what, I would not have fucked that woman. She is absolutely disgusting. You would not believe how bad her pussy smells. You think those kids on Epstein's islands were bad? Oh my Lord, you should have seen Hillary. Like that would have been fucking worse. Fuck, he's got to be stressed.
Well, when you think about it, to tie it all together, I think if Clinton had just kept rolling in with Epstein and the kid plane, he actually would have been still president for a while. Like he wouldn't have got caught coming on that lady's dress,
That's
you know.
True.
But didn't he finish his terms?
He got
like I don't think he actually. Yeah, but so did Trump. But you don't actually get kicked out when you get impeached. There's like a whole thing. I don't know if he finished his terms or not. I thought he did.
I think he got kicked out early because he lied. Like that was the problem. He lied.
He definitely got caught. Like he got impeached for sure. But
yeah.
I just think
I'm pretty sure they went all the way. Terms. Hey, can we check HLTV for White House versus?
Yeah. Honestly, it's incalculable. I can't check. It's not possible. I don't know what there's.
Add this to draft buff or whatever.
Yeah, that's what we need.
Honestly, they should have like a fantasy presidential race or something.
Which top political person and billionaire is a pedophile? Place your bets now. Draftbuff.com.
Don't forget to download.
Listen, you can't even. That's one they would never do because you can't lose. Like,
you think
they're just paying out?
Yeah, no, they would do it if they could make some money off of it. But
bankrupt because everyone is a pedophile.
Everyone won. Not a single false bet there.
Oh my God! When we started this thing, we thought we were going to make so much money, but who knew? Oh, so many people were pedophiles.
It's literally everyone.
Jesus fuck.
You guys better download this shit, or we're gonna listen to sponsors. So
you
fucking.
have to download the app now. At this point, guys,
we literally brought the worst
all we have
to light.
This is all we have. We've got nothing. Oh.
Wait, how rich are the people running Draft Buff?
I don't know. I don't have an answer for you.
We're gonna find out soon. Yeah.
No, I'm not going there.
Just go. No,
I'm not. No, I'm not.
I said kid fucker earlier. You can do whatever.
No, that's fine. No, it's fine. No, we're not going there. So, does anybody have anything you want to talk about?
We're not going there. We're not going anywhere else because of this fucking. Oh, we can't talk about that either. Fuck.
Running out of topics here.
Yeah. Well, this is an interesting one, I guess. Oh yeah, we didn't even talk about Mad Lions replacing Hunden.
Oh, with your boy, drunk boy Asilian, right?
Whoa! What? No, it was an after party.
Drunk boy, late boy. Listen, he didn't sleep through a qualifier. Was that a Nifty player?
Snacks.
No, it was Snacks too, but there was some NA player that did it. I said Nifty player, I meant NV player.
That's
yeah,
Wardell,
that's what it was.
Classic.
Yeah.
I just knew it was an opera.
What do we think about this Mad Lions replacing Hunden with the Asilian thing? Now, quickly, I'll just throw in my 2 cents. I don't think necessarily replacing Hunden is a terrible idea because obviously he's not the best.
I think he should have been made a coach.
I
And
think
then
he was
and then
supposed. There's something
yeah.
he said he was taking up a job in the org, but everything seems kind of bullshit and rushed, and I don't know what the fuck. I'm not even going to try to speculate on all that.
I feel
shit,
like with
but-
a young roster like that he kind of made himself. I think he needed to stay there to keep reining them in. Like I think just removing him, he clearly did something correct. So I think just removing him like the way they did is not the right answer. That's just my opinion, though. I don't know. I don't know the internals.
They played one BO3 yesterday against Havu, and Havu beat them now, and that's a matchup that like they were not supposed to lose. So
I will say though, like Havu, like they're
They're
a
not bad.
fucking sleeper team. Like I
Yeah,
watched
they're not
watched a
bad.
lot of their MDL games last season when I was streaming like EU MDL stuff, and they're a fucking good team, man. They have some good players and they play really good Counter Strike. They're like the new Ents, like where they're like a bunch of Finnish players, kind of no name. They come out of nowhere and they're just like, oh my god, these guys are actually really good. I'm not saying they're gonna hit the peaks Ents hit, but I'm saying it's like a similar trajectory of like you kind of don't really know who they are. They're just like okay, whatever, and then but they're fucking solid, dude. Like they're a good team.
Yeah, I'm not trying to. I wouldn't bring down Havu or anything like that, but you think with Mad Lions and the
Yeah.
results they've had recently that they should beat them, and I didn't catch too much of it, but there did seem to be some disconnects between them. And when I watched some of the analyst panel and like tweets from some of the analysts at Flashpoint, they were talking about how the team doesn't look as well gelled nowadays. Mad Lions,
Well,
that is.
like I said, I don't really know Hunden that much as an in-game leader, as a player, or anything like that. But clearly, what he was doing with this team was working, and I think they probably jumped the gun on replacing him. They probably panicked. I think a lot of the times what happens is with teams like this is the players on the team start to all of a sudden think they're fucking big time. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah,
Like
they
all
do.
of a sudden the players like they start winning some games, they get some upsets, people start talking about them, start hyping them up a bit, and all of a sudden these guys think they're fucking big time now.
And they think, well, if Hunden got
yeah, exactly.
18 kills instead of 12, we would have won. And it's like,
Yeah.
well, but what else did he do for you that you're not really taking into
yeah.
account?
You guys
know,
wouldn't
like-
have got like 10 of your kills you would have got because
Right.
of him. Yeah.
And they don't realize that a lot of the time.
It depends, like if you could replace a Hunden with a Kerrigan or something, sure.
Right.
Like, okay,
Yeah.
like it's a logical step, and but when you replace people for either like a fragger randomly or like the worst is like when people. And don't get me wrong, I'm not talking shit about like Nico or Tabston, but like when you just take a star rifler of a team and just turn him into a caller, I just don't like it that much. Like
Yeah.
I'm like, why doesn't someone else sacrifice on the team or put the work in? And I know it's probably one of those things where when you're so good, like those players, you just want to do it yourself because you're like, fuck it, other people can't do it right. I know better. I'll just do it. And I kind of understand that, but at the same time, like those players are so valuable, like would you want Tabson or Nico calling if you were on their team? Like I rather not. Like I rather call instead, like
Well,
but-
kind of like
Let
what
them
I
just think. Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Go
what I was getting at with it was that like I just don't see it's not like Asilian is like a great fragger. It's not like he was a great in-game leader. So I don't know where they were thinking this was going to be a move that takes their team to another level.
To be
I
fair,
know
you don't
where
have to be much
that-
of a fragger to outfrag Hunden, but
No, but Hunden wasn't doing terribly though.
No, he wasn't. I'm not even like really shitting on the guy. Like I think he did like miracles basically with that lineup.
I'm just saying I don't see where you look at this move as the team, like as the players in the team looking at this move and saying this is going to take us to another level. I don't see it. I don't get it. I don't see where that is. I don't see Asilian having done anything in any of his recent teams that would lead you to believe that. I don't know if this was a Peacemaker move. I know they worked together on Heroic, and maybe Peacemaker liked working with him or something, and that like maybe Peacemaker and Hunden were arguing about what sort of direction they wanted the team to take, right? And so this is a Peacemaker move. I don't know. I'm just this is speculation at this point.
Does anyone like have ever played or talked with Peacemaker? Because he's always around, and I never know like if he's good or
It's
not.
because he's been like floating around the Danish scene for a while now. He sort of found his place there. He hasn't been in NA for a while. But either way, I don't know. To me, this move makes no sense. I think they're going to get worse. I don't think this makes the team better at all.
Yeah, I think they're gonna get worse too. I mean, they peaked at top 11th in the world, I guess. Like, dude, I'm gonna be honest. Like, I know some of these players are decently talented on this Mad Lions team. Like, when I watch them play, Acor looks pretty serviceable. Bubsky as well. But
Yeah.
like, they kind of came from these teams that are just been like, you know, floating around between like 28th best to like 70th best in the world. Like, dude, he exceeded what he should have been able to do. Hunden, that is, with this roster. And yeah, I think it goes back to
if you look at like the stats of the 4 players, not including Hunden or Cillian, like for the last 3 months, it's 0.7 FPR, 0.71, 0.71, 0.7. So those 4 players are all kind of like completely even across the board, which makes me think, like just not watching them or anything, that they're winning based off teamwork. Because generally, when you don't have like one guy with that 0.8, 0.9 FPR kind of like hovering there, no one is like taking over games. So like these guys basically thought to themselves, well, we'll get someone else and they'll do better, but they weren't winning because they were carrying anyways. So like their tactics mattered more than their firepower, in my opinion, just looking off stats. Like,
and this has been a problem. Sorry, this has been a problem in Counter-Strike forever, where players they don't even realize what their in-game leader does 70% of the time. Like they don't even realize it. They don't even see it. They think it's them. They don't even realize the system they're playing in. They don't even know a lot of the time. And so mistakes like this can happen. I personally, I think this was a mistake, but I don't know what went on behind the scenes. So who knows? Maybe there was like a breaking point between Hunden and like 1 or 2 of the players and the coach, and it was just the point where
Hunden's a pedophile, dude, and you never know. I'm just kidding. That's a joke. That's a joke. The rest wasn't.
Oh my god. Fuck. We gotta stop going there. Like with why do we take it back to this every time?
It's Freudian, dude. It's just
on
our minds.
Just throwing things out there, you know.
Fucking poor Hunden. I'm sorry. I'm sorry,
Hunden, but
Hunden, that was a joke.
Listen, Hunden, you should download Draft Buff and put the rest of your team on your fantasy league so you can get some money back.
No, bet against them.
Yeah, bet against your,
you know, like.
Yeah, just get the Havu team on.
And then post it on Twitter and just type haha.
I want Hunden to take a screenshot of his Draft Buff like picks and then post it. You know, that'd be great. With, of course, promo code Peaker's Advantage.
Of course.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Use those bananas,
boys.
Well,
the code doesn't actually do anything for us specifically.
Yet. Come on. They'll add something.
It gets the user something.
It gets them bananas, and everybody loves bananas.
Device.
I actually don't eat bananas. They make me feel weird.
Corey, shut the fuck up.
He just eats the peels.
I like them. They just, I don't know.
All right, last thing real quick then before we go. This Chaos has benched Ben Leet and picked up Sick. What do we think of Sick?
Good move, I think.
Yeah,
it's a good move.
I think this is maybe getting near like Sick's kind of like last chance almost.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you guys agree, before he's probably going to like have to work his way back up on MDL or something like that with like a lower group. But I actually think Sick is good. Like, I played with him in TSM.
Mhm.
He was on Misfits. He had that team, the Hiko team, I always forget what they're called, Rogue or whatever. And, and for me, on TSM, he was like way better. I wouldn't say way better, but he was a better performer than Twist originally. And I thought that he had more potential. But I think the smarter in-game leaders that like when he started playing smarter, because like me and Valens used to tell him, like, you shouldn't peek there. You got, 1 kill, just fall back. Like, I think his strength was his aim. And I think when he doesn't rely on his strength, he got worse. So I think it's just about him kind of like adopting more of like that Danish play style where you're really good, but you're like taking the calculated risks. Because I feel like he takes too many risks, or he takes no risks from watching him play. You know what I mean? And like, most players know that if you take no risks, you actually end up doing worse a lot of the time than if you have a decent balance. Like,
well, Counter-Strike's all about playing the odds. This is what I always tell people when they're asking me, is like, you have to play the odds. Like, if the odds of, you have to like be able to calculate this in your head in the moment. You have to be like, okay, we're down 4 versus 5 right now. If I just sit where I am right now, what are the chances we win this round? Pretty fucking low. And then you have to calculate in your head, like, okay, what's the right peak? What's a good peak for me? What am I good at? What are my strengths? And you have to play to the odds. So if there's like a 55% chance you win a gunfight and you're down 4 versus 5, that's a risk worth taking because you're already down 4 versus 5. So you have to be able to like think of that in your head in the moment. A lot of that comes from experience.
And then the best example, the easiest example of that is like Mirage. Like if your mid player just gets clapped, like he gets opt or like 1D'd in the window and it's 5v4 and he calls 4 out mid, well, you know there's max 1 halls or 1 T ramp.
Or
So,
1 B halls. Like, there's out of those 3
yeah,
spots.
that is true. There could be no one there. But just
Right.
like generally speaking, there's probably one and like there is someone probably towards A, right? And you can push one of them and just get that info, and your teammates can just stack towards mid and B. And because you have so much control, but if you just sit spawn and they end up hitting A through connector, T ramp, and halls, you lose. Like you're gonna lose that 5v4, like on Inferno. I think most people know how hard Mirage CT can be. Like generally it's CT sided, but like if the T's know what they're doing and they're up, like it's fucking hard to stop like a good team from splitting A properly. Like you don't just get free kills hiding under balcony. Like it doesn't happen.
Yeah. So, anyways, like you were saying, I feel like he hit his peak like 3 years ago, and has just not got any better. Like,
yeah, it's weird though because
it is weird because I don't think he's bad either. I just think he's hit his peak and hasn't got better.
Didn't people say the same thing about Kusta? Maybe it just needs a different IGL or something like that. I mean, obviously Sick has had a ton of different IGLs, but
I do think that Sick's always been getting put in like that third slot on a team, and I think he would probably do better being like the second best player on a team type thing, or where his role is a little bit more free, where he gets a little bit more.
Gets that now. I think Chaos he'll be opened up that option.
Yeah,
I think
no. On this team, he should be their star rifler, right? Like,
exactly.
In theory. And Smoothie is going to be their best player probably, but Stick should have more opportunity. That's why I said that I feel like this is kind of his last chance. Like, if he can't perform with like kind of like more freedom as the best rifler on a team, then I don't know like what he's going to do from here.
Yeah, Steele was doing a DDK show a while ago, and he talked a lot about trying to activate talent that had not been able to be activated elsewhere. So I think that might end up working out for them if he could do that anyway.
Because he's really good. Like honestly, his skill is really good. I don't think his thing is like he's whiffing. It's just the decision making and roles in game that I think is his issue.
It's pretty like simplistic, but anytime I see a player can win FPL weeks consistently, you just kind of know their skill is high, and Sick does that. So Sick can do that, and it's just like you can't just ignore that kind of shit. Even though like he's been kind of a sleeper lately.
Just for a few years.
Some people are more confident when some people are like a lot more confident too when they're kind of like not able to get bitched at. You know what I mean? Like so like FPL and like pugs and stuff, they're always really really good because if they go for a peak, doesn't work out, no one's really going to yell at them. Like, yeah, Stewie might yell at you if you're like 2-11. He's like, you're bad, whatever. But like, but generally speaking, like, you don't have like a dad type figure that's like, why did you peak that? You don't have a coach. You don't have, you know what I mean? So some of those players need to learn like how to balance like the fear of getting bitched at with like making the right plays because I do think that affects people. Like they don't like some players don't like getting bitched at, so they'll just stop doing things that could potentially get them
win them games.
Yeah.
They just even like some people's comfort zone is it makes other people uncomfortable. I know this with when I was like coaching with Davey, kind of like he didn't want anyone to go apartments or stuff like that, but like sometimes I would see like some players on the team like be kind of good at it, but like then it would kind of like put a halt to like the apartment plays on Inferno and stuff like that. But like it's just you got to balance it. So like having hard fast rules and stuff like that of like not doing it ever and having it sometimes and things like that. It's like Sick needs to be able to like tiptoe this balance with Steel, like find out show his comfort plays to Steel, have Steel get some confidence in Sick, because Steel pretty much also with this Chaos roster just has to trust Sick in a way. Like
I know he has to. He just rely on him.
Yeah, so like if Sick wants to do something that maybe Steel thinks in his head is fundamentally not right, it's almost there has to be a little bit more of a give and a take here. He can't just like I don't know exactly the relationship.
Yeah, that won't happen though.
Yeah, like so I don't know if this is gonna work out.
But I think he'll trust him in the sense that he will rely on him to do certain things in the game that Steel wants done, and he's like, all right, you're good enough to do this. You know what I mean? Like he'll be like that guy for Steel. I don't think he'll like Steel will always be my way or the highway type of guy. It's how he's always been. Which it's as long as you know, that's what you're dealing with. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I think Steel views the game pretty pragmatically. He's gonna if Sick can make something work, and even if Steel's a little uncomfortable with it, he'll let him do it. Like
maybe.
But just gotta let him do it. Yeah, but I hate. I know I have met Ben Lee and I've talked to him a handful of times and stuff, and it's kind of a bummer to see him leave a top team because this is probably one of his best chances in a while because he's been in this like NA MDL scene for a long time. But man, he was like not. He was just not.
He was just
showing
not
up
good
for a
enough.
while.
He was just not
He was
good
just-
enough. That's
Yeah,
how
he
it
wasn't
is.
showing up. And it
Sometimes
also
you're just not good enough.
in terms of the structure of the team, it might have been okay. Like, it was kind of like I think I almost feel like this Chaos team was a test run for a little bit. Like, are we gonna keep Vanity or are we gonna keep Bentley? Because they both are like secondary caller types. You know, Vanity's IGL'd for a while. Bentley was always an IGL, but they already have Steel, so you don't really need a tertiary caller. You know, that's not
Yeah.
really a thing. It's like, I mean, everyone should be able to think on their own a little bit at the pro level, but like, you don't really like a true secondary caller is the most you really need. So
And it's super valuable. Like you need it.
yeah,
Like if you don't have that secondary caller, like people don't realize how fucking valuable that is on a team. Like you
especially
need
CT
as an
sides.
in-game leader. Yeah, especially at CT sides. Like you need it. You need a second guy.
If you can only be at one bomb site at a time. So
Yeah.
if you can call like that guy can be like, no, we should just flash and push. Like we lost an advantage here, we can take an advantage here, kind of shit like that, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm sure Vanity fits that role for them.
Chaos is beating MIBR right now, but it was CT side train and they won 9-6. So I guess that's not bad. Everything's T-sided now, this fucking game.
I wonder why that was.
It's because no matter what on T-side, you can just buy every single round. Honestly, if people lose pistol round, I don't know why they're just not buying Galil armor every single round till they win.
Dude,
like
I do that in pugs.
Yeah.
I know. I do it in every pug
Galil
now.
nuts now,
Yeah.
actually. Like,
yeah.
and then
Galil's
you get
fine.
money and you buy Krieg.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and at some point, eventually, in the first 4 rounds, you'll get a bomb plant, and if you still lose every round, but you just keep buying Galil armor and then lose, eventually you'll get a bomb plant and then you have a full buy. It's like,
If you have a better buy than they have.
Yeah, exactly. Like
you actually get more money. It's 3,400 plus the 800 or whatever. You get like 4,200. Like it's
Like,
crazy.
if I was still playing and if I was still in game leading, my T sides would be buying every single round. We would be buying every single round
Yeah.
because you just should. Fuck.
I don't want to sound hyperbolic, but at what point are we going to start talking about how Valve is ruining the game? No, because they are. I mean,
Well,
let me hit you with it. We got economy changes that make the game more casual friendly because you can buy any gun, anytime, pretty much anywhere. Now, obviously on the pro level, it's a little bit harder, right? But you're still able to do quite a bit with very little money. Then you got these agents. We weren't running the show when the agents were new, so we didn't really get to talk shit about them. But they are shit. And I don't really care how many times Valve changes them. The fact that they don't provide
quick
CL
pause
min
on
model.
the agent thing.
Okay.
Yes, I was going to say that's all they need to do.
Yeah,
That's all they need to do is CL min models or CL underscore competitive model 1 or whatever the fuck. That's all they need to do. A simple command. That's fixed.
Yep.
They'll never do it though. They never do that shit.
I know,
Ever. They never ever do it because they want the skins to still be like more important.
But you could make the skins spectator only.
I know, but they just don't think about it.
So if you want to promote the skins, you can just make it so that when people are watching, like spectators watching the events, they can be like, "Oh, cool, Elige is using that skin. I want to use that agent skin. Oh, that's sick." But in game for everybody, it's not. Like make it client side instead of server side. You know what I mean? That's all you have to do. But whatever.
I don't know. I think Valve is the only individual entity in the world that can kill this game, and they're doing a pretty damn fine job of it right now. IMO.
Well, apparently not, right? 1 million concurrent viewers, first time ever.
Oh, for sure. I'm just talking about competitively. I wouldn't even care about.
I'm on your side. I'm on your side. I'm just saying when you see numbers like that, they're like, "Yeah, fuck you guys. You know what you're talking about."
I do think that the game, the way they've designed it, is more fun if you play twice a week. Right now, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, for sure.
If you're a very casual player, like these changes are beneficial. You can buy all the fucking time. Your money's never truly broken. Every gun is kind of viable, so like you just buy Galils, like Davey was saying. Like there's a lot less importance to doing things correctly, but I think at a high level it just dumbs the game down. Like I feel like every game goes to OT now. Like
a lot more often,
it's
absurd, dude. Like you can't, because your advantages never matter. And it's like, I don't know, Dota kind of did the same thing where they made like support heroes get more money quicker and they're more like likely to be geared up. Every game just kind of like they take the support roles and they just try to keep buffing them so that everyone's simple. Like, and it just, you can't do that. I don't think. Like it doesn't. I don't know. I think there needs to be some sacrifices in the game and some downsides to losing a round.
Yeah, it's
not everything should be fun all the time. Like that's what a competitive game. Like a competitive game shouldn't just be like, yeah, everyone gets to have fun like right now.
No, that's what
you
I
know?
mean. For the casuals, man, like if matchmaking, you want to keep these money things in matchmaking, fucking be my guest. You know what I mean? But like, to be honest, it's probably better for the game for the casual players to be able to buy all the time. You know, but like at the same time, at a professional level, I do think like 12-12 when both people are money broken, like that's a stress round right there. Like that, like, do you have the balls to call a rush on train as a T side caller at 12-12 when you both have medium money? You know what I mean? Like it's like it could be the right call, but do you have the balls to call it? Like right now, it's like, oh, let's try it. If we lose the round, you know, we'll still be able to do like a okay buy. You know, like it's just. I don't know. I feel like it takes the importance away of like decision making, and just like on CD side, like if you're playing trains 12-12, like I said, and you're both money fucked, and Simple's like, I'm gonna rush Ivy this round and try to get an op pick, and he dies. That's a big fuck up, you know? Like
because CT side is fucked.
Yeah, like it's the money on CD side matters so much more in the current meta, even still. But like, or I mean, in the old meta, it was so like if you lost an op when everyone had no money, like you weren't getting it for 3 more rounds. Like
yeah.
Do you want to hear this is the matchmaking conspiracy that I just came up with this. But it's basically like in matchmaking, the team with the higher elo starts on CT side. So it makes sense to nerf that side so that when the game starts on matchmaking, then the T side team, which has the lower elo, is actually going to they have an easier time. So they can like potentially get some rounds so that when a matchmaking player leaves the game, they're like, oh, that was a close game because they were on the busted, broken T side, even though their team was not favored.
I didn't know that was the case. I didn't know you got to start on whatever side.
Interesting. Is that also true in Faceit or any of these other third parties?
Faceit you do a knife round. Faceit but MM,
I'm surprised they don't do knife rounds in MM.
Why would they? I mean, they're just such a joke. Just flip a coin.
I'm just surprised
they don't.
It's just something to get people mad sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, that they shouldn't get mad
that's
about.
true. That people can just run away and not knife. That is so fucking annoying.
It's so frustrating when it's like a 2-minute knife round and I just watch one guy on my team in a 1v4 sprint around the map, try to KZ it, and I'm just like, dude, like, you could have done this on your own time. Like, we're just watching this shit. Like, you need to be in this.
Or you just have 2 AFKs, one of the two. Like,
yeah, that happens. All right. Well, I think that's good for this episode. I think we've done a banger of a comeback episode. So everybody who's watching this right now, why did my webcam just do that again? What is going on? Am I being hacked? Garen, is this you? Are you doing this to me right now?
The corona, it's coming.
Listen, I'm just letting you know. I'm letting you off with a warning.
Dude, what the fuck is going on? Okay, anyways.
Our next sponsor is...
Before we leave, one question, all right? Okay. You all got to answer this, all right? I heard this in a podcast yesterday, so I'm going to copy this question. Okay. Would you rather send your dad a dick pic every day, or on every Christmas you have to punch your mom in the face, but you can't tell either of them why? You just have to do it and never tell them an answer.
Definitely send my dad a dick pic every day.
Dad dick pic for sure, because then it's like he'll probably just think, "Oh, son, you're looking healthy today. All right." Like,
that's what I said. I was like, you know, after a point, he's got to stop looking, right? Like he's got to just like he's got to be like, God damn it, Corey sent me another fucking dick pic. Like I'm not.
At some point, it's not a me problem anymore, and it turns into a him problem.
It might even become normalized to him. It's like, I guess this is what sons do, or something.
Yeah, he's out of touch. He's like, must be a new year thing.
I could never punch my mom in the face.
Yeah,
it just never happened. I could never do it.
Yeah, that's too.
No matter what.
Yeah, pretty much.
It would have to be so much money. Like if you like
I would have to hit her and then she'd fall down into a pile of money is what would have to happen.
No, I was like, I'm just saying, if you give me $1 billion, like I'm down. You know what I mean? Like I'll do it.
She would be. My mom would be down too.
That's what I mean. Like I give her $100 million. Like you get $100 million. You got punched in the face. You get $100 million. Like it's a good deal for everybody, right? I think everybody would take a punch in the face for $100 million, right? Like So, anyways,
gotta up that one.
Yeah. All right. Well, everybody, thank you so much for watching. Thanks for everything. Don't forget to go download Draft Buff because we have done some unreasonable things during this podcast. So make sure you go download the Draft Buff.
This video is 100% demonetized. So if you want to donate to make up for the funny jokes, feel free.
Yeah,
that's how it should be.
So go to it's iOS and Android. You can go download it. Thank you, Draft Buffs, for sponsoring this episode. I'm also doing a sponsored stream tomorrow with them, so that's going to be pretty cool. I'll try to avoid some of the talking points of today. And yeah, thanks everybody for watching. This has been Peeker's Advantage, and peace.
Peace.
Peace.